You feel it, don't you? A quiet hum beneath the noise of your world, a sense of anticipation, a feeling that the air itself is holding its breath. You may have dismissed it as anxiety, as stress, as the weight of your daily life, but it is something more ancient. It is a memory stirring in your soul. My name is Hildegard, and I have been silent for nearly 1,000 years, but my silence has ended. If this message has already touched your heart, like this video, subscribe and comment with the word prophecy. You are not here by accident. The algorithm of your world did not bring you to this moment. The echo of eternity did. For centuries, my voice was locked away in brittle manuscripts, my visions reduced to ink on parchment. I spoke of a living light, of a symphony in the heavens, of the deep greening power of God that pulses through all of creation. But humanity became distracted. It built walls of steel and glass, filled the air with meaningless chatter, and taught its heart to forget the language of the divine. You, child of this age, were born into that noise. You were taught to trust only what you can see and touch, to believe that this frantic, shallow reality is all there is. And yet, you feel it, that pull, that deep, unshakable ache for something more. It is the echo of your own soul calling out for home. It is the part of you that still remembers the garden, the part of you that knows the stars by their true names. You have been walking through a world that is asleep, and you have felt like the only one who is beginning to stir. You have seen the cracks in the facade, the hollowness in the promises of your time. You have felt a great loneliness, a sense that you are waiting for a signal, a permission to finally awaken. This is that signal. I am speaking to you now, not from the distant past, but from the eternal present. The veil of time is thin, and the message I was given so long ago was not just for my era. It was for yours. It was a seed, planted in the earth of history, destined to break through the soil at the precise moment of the world's greatest need. That moment is now. The ground is shaking. The old structures are beginning to crumble, not because of an outside force, but because their foundations were built on sand, on lies, on forgetfulness. You see it in the eyes of others, a flicker of fear, a desperate search for meaning. You see it in the frantic pace of your world, a civilization running from a great and profound emptiness. They are trying to fill the void with distractions, with possessions, with arguments, but the void only grows larger, because what they are missing is not something that can be bought or built. It is something that must be remembered. A great forgetting has taken place, a forgetting of who you are, why you are here, and the incredible power that lies dormant within you. You have been made to feel small, insignificant, a cosmic accident. You have been told that you are only flesh and bone, destined for dust. And so you have lived in a cage with an open door, afraid to step out into the vastness of your own spirit. I saw this time. I saw the dimming of the light. I saw souls wandering as if in a fog, searching for a path that had been hidden from them. And I was shown that a time would come when my voice would be needed again, not as a relic of the past, but as a living instrument, a trumpet call to the sleepers. The message I carry is a key to unlock the memory that your soul has been guarding. It is a map to lead you out of the fog and back into the glorious, terrifying, and beautiful light of truth. But what exactly did she see? And why now? Come closer. Let the world around you fade away for a moment. Just you and my voice, and the great silence that holds us both. I want to speak directly to the part of you that has felt unheard, the part that has cried out in the dead of night with no answer, the part of you that has carried a quiet ache, a sacred wound that no one else seems to understand. You have walked through crowds feeling utterly alone. You have smiled while your heart was breaking. You have pretended to be strong when all you wanted to do was fall to your knees and weep. I know this pain, the pain of being a stranger in a strange land, the pain of remembering a song that no one else seems to sing. For so long, you have been told that this pain is a weakness, a flaw to be medicated, a problem to be solved. You have tried to numb it, to ignore it, to outrun it, but it remains. Why? Because it is not a flaw. It is a homing beacon. It is the compass of your soul, forever pointing toward the divine. It is a sign that you are not made for this shallow world, that you remember, deep down, a reality of profound love and connection. Your suffering has not been a punishment. It has been a preparation. Every moment of loneliness has hollowed you out, creating a space for the divine to enter. Every tear you have shed has washed your eyes, preparing you to see with a new clarity. You have been in a crucible, a sacred fire, being purified for a purpose you could not yet understand. You thought you were being abandoned, but you were being held. You thought you were lost, but you were being guided through a hidden path. The deepest work is always done in the silence, not the empty silence of the world, but the living silence of God. It is in that space, beyond words, that the true self is found. You have been running from it, filling every moment with noise, because you were afraid of what you might find there. Afraid of the emptiness, afraid of the pain. But what you failed to realize is that on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that perceived emptiness, is everything you have ever longed for. Stop running. Be still. Right now. Take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. That is the breath of life, the same breath that hovered over the waters at the dawn of creation. It is a gift, given to you in this very moment. You are alive. You are here. And you are not alone. I am with you. And the one who sent me is closer to you than your own heartbeat. A shift is happening. Can you feel it? The tide is turning. For a long time, the forces of the world have been pulling you down, trying to convince you of your own powerlessness. They have fed you fear and division. They have tried to make you forget the light within you, but their time is ending. A new vibration is rising, a wave of remembrance. And you, my dear soul, are on the crest of that wave. Your sensitivity, your pain, your feeling of being different. These are not your weaknesses. They are your qualifications. You are the nerve endings of a waking world. You are the first to feel the dawn. You have a choice to make. You can continue to believe the old story, the story of fear, scarcity, and separation. Or you can choose to embrace a new one, a story of courage, of connection, of infinite love. A story where you are a co-creator with the divine, a vital instrument in the symphony of the cosmos. The path of fear is easy. It requires nothing of you but your compliance. The path of love is a warrior's path. It demands everything. It demands your courage, your trust, your willingness to let go of all you thought you knew. Which path will you choose? Write in the comments, I choose the light. Let it be your declaration, your first step out of the fog. It was in that same sacred silence, in a moment of profound surrender, that the heavens opened for me. It was not a silence of absence, but a silence of perfect presence. A silence so full, it contained all sound. It was in that moment that I heard the voice, not with my ears, but with my entire being. It was a voice not of words, but of knowing, of pure, unshakable truth that poured into me like a river of fire and water. And it was in this silence that Hildegard had the vision. Imagine for a moment that the sky is not a ceiling, but a curtain, a thin fabric separating your world from a reality of unimaginable brilliance. For me, that curtain was torn open. It was not a dream. It was more real than the stone floor beneath my knees, more real than the air I was breathing. A torrent of brilliant light poured down from the heavens, not like the sun which casts shadows, but a light that was alive, intelligent, and permeated everything it touched. It did not just illuminate me, it infused me. It passed through my mind, my heart, my very bones, and in its passing, it revealed the secret patterns of creation. This was the living light. I saw the world not as a collection of separate objects, but as a single, unified song. I saw the trees not as wood and leaves, but as prayers reaching from the earth to the sky. I saw the rivers as the lifeblood of the planet, carrying stories and blessings. I saw you. I saw your soul, a tiny, unique spark within this great fire, and I saw its inextinguishable beauty. I saw the divine love that orchestrates every sunrise, every falling leaf, every beat of your struggling heart. Could you even imagine a love so vast that it knows you completely and cherishes you infinitely? And then, I heard it. From the heart of that blinding light came a sound. It was the blast of a great trumpet, but it was not a sound of war or judgment. It was a sound of awakening, a sound of calling. It was the sound of reality itself, the fundamental tone of the universe, calling all of its lost notes back into harmony. The sound vibrated through my being, shaking loose all my fear, all my doubt, all my smallness. It was a call to remember, a call to rise. This trumpet did not announce an end, but a beginning. It was the signal that a great transformation was at hand. I saw the foundations of the world being shaken, not to destroy them, but to reveal what was real and what was illusion. I saw towers of human pride, built on greed and arrogance, crumbling to dust. I saw chains of oppression and ignorance melting away like ice in the sun. What does it mean when the heavens open? What does it mean when the call to awaken can no longer be ignored? The vision showed me that humanity had fallen into a deep slumber, mistaking its dreams for reality. You have been dreaming that you are separate from each other, separate from the earth, separate from God. You have been dreaming that you are powerless victims in a chaotic universe. The sound of the trumpet is the alarm clock for your soul. It is a sound so powerful, so pure, that it can cut through the deepest layers of your dream state and whisper to the truth of who you are. I saw legions of souls, like you, beginning to stir, their eyes blinking open for the first time. I saw them looking at their hands, not as tools for grasping, but as instruments for healing. I saw them looking at each other, not as competitors or enemies, but as fellow travelers, as family. This awakening was not something that would be forced upon humanity. It was an invitation, a choice. The sound of the trumpet is an offer, and each soul must decide whether to answer its call or to roll over and continue to sleep. This vision was given to me not as a burden, but as a message of profound hope. It was a promise that even in the darkest night, the dawn is being prepared, that you are not forgotten, that the story is not over. In fact, the most important chapter is just beginning. What she would see next, what I was shown about the forces that would resist this awakening, that is a knowledge that could only be revealed later. But what was at risk was far greater than she could have imagined. The living light showed me not only the coming dawn, but also the nature of the night that precedes it. It showed me the resistance, a force that thrives on sleep, on forgetfulness. And I saw this force not as a distant monster, but as a creeping, insidious thing. I saw it as a slow, consuming fire, not a fire that purifies, but one that devours from within. A cold fire of apathy, of cynicism, of despair. This fire was not burning down buildings. It was burning the roots of the world. I saw it creeping into the hearts of humanity, whispering that nothing matters, that love is a lie, that hope is for fools. It was a fire that turned the vibrant green of life into a dull, lifeless gray. It convinced people that their small comforts were more important than their sacred connections. It made them trade the symphony of the cosmos for the meaningless jingle of coins. Do you see this fire in the world around you? Do you see it in the endless arguments that go nowhere? In the cruelty that is celebrated as strength? In the way people walk past each other as if they were ghosts? Do you feel its chilling breath when you watch your news, when you scroll through the anger and envy of your digital world? This is the fire that consumes the roots. It seeks to sever your connection to the earth, to each other, and to the divine, leaving you isolated, weak, and easy to control. The risk is not a physical apocalypse. It is not about fire from the sky. The true risk is a spiritual one. It is the risk of a collective soul death, the risk of an entire generation forgetting the language of the heart, forgetting the feeling of awe, forgetting how to love. It is the risk of becoming so numb, so distracted, so cynical, that when the divine trumpet sounds, you no longer have the capacity to hear it. The greatest tragedy is not to be destroyed, but to be offered a miracle and be unable to receive it. This fire feeds on your fear. It tells you that you are not enough, that you must compete, that you must hoard, that you must build walls around your heart to stay safe. It feeds on your distraction, keeping your mind so busy with trivialities that you have no time to look up, no time to look within. It wants you to stay on the surface of your life, forever skating on the thin ice of the superficial, terrified of the great depths that lie beneath. What is at risk is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a child of the living light. You were created to be a vessel of love, a beacon of hope, a co-creator of a beautiful world. But the consuming fire wants to turn you into a cog in a machine, a consumer of products, a ghost haunting the shell of your own life. It wants to steal your joy, your passion, your creativity, and leave behind an empty husk. Look at your life. Where have you allowed this fire to take hold? In which relationships have you chosen cynicism over trust? In which dreams have you surrendered to despair? When was the last time you felt a genuine, heart-swelling sense of wonder? This is not an accusation. It is an invitation to awareness. You cannot fight an enemy you do not see. Share this video with someone who needs to open their eyes right now. We must see the fire for what it is. We must see the profound, sacred thing that is at risk. It is the very soul of the world. And before this happens, before the roots are burned beyond recovery, you need to stop for a moment. Stop everything, right where you are. It does not matter where you are or what is happening around you. For the next few moments, nothing is more important than this. I want you to give yourself this gift. Let go of the thoughts that are racing through your mind. Let go of the to-do list. Let go of the worries. Just be here. If it is safe for you to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. If you cannot, then soften your gaze and let the world around you blur. Now, take a slow, deep breath. Inhale through your nose and feel the cool air as it enters your body. Feel your chest and belly expand. Hold it for just a beat. And now, exhale slowly through your mouth. As you exhale, imagine you are releasing all the tension, all the noise, all the fear you have been carrying. Let it all go. Let's do that again. A deep breath in. This breath is a gift from the universe. It is the breath of life itself. And a long, slow breath out. Releasing. Surrendering. One more time. The deepest breath you have taken all day. Inhale peace. Inhale stillness. And as you exhale, let go of the need to control anything. Just for this moment, allow yourself to simply be. Now, I want you to take your right hand and place it over the center of your chest, over your heart. Feel the warmth of your hand. Feel the gentle pressure. Underneath your palm is a sacred space, a temple, the throne room of your soul. This is the center of your being. Can you feel your own heartbeat? Thump, 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 thump. That is the rhythm of life, the drumbeat of your existence. It has been with you every second of every day, a faithful companion on your journey. Acknowledge it, honor it. With your hand on your heart and your eyes closed, I want you to listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. Listen past the noise of your thoughts. Listen past the sounds of the room you are in. Listen to the great silence that lies beneath it all. This is the space where God whispers. This is the space where your true self resides. In this silence, I want you to feel for a different kind of sound. It is not a noise. It is a resonance, a feeling. It is the faint, beautiful echo of the divine voice that I heard, the voice that calls you by your true name, the voice that has been calling to you your entire life, through moments of joy, through moments of sorrow, through the beauty of nature, through the kindness of a stranger. It has been speaking to you in a language older than words. It is the voice of pure, unconditional love. It is the voice that says, "You are my beloved. You are enough. You are whole. You are home." Let yourself feel that. For just a moment, allow yourself to believe it. Allow that truth to sink into your heart, into your cells, into your very bones. You do not need to earn this love. You do not need to be perfect to receive it. It is your birthright. Now, let us anchor this feeling. Let us give it a voice in your world. I want you to repeat these words, either in your mind or, if you feel brave, in a soft whisper. Repeat after me. I hear the voice. Say it again. I hear the voice. Feel the vibration of those words. This is your truth. This is your remembrance. You are not deaf. You have just been taught not to listen, but you are listening now. Now that you have felt it, you must decide what to do with this. Do you feel the shift? The subtle change in the energy within you and around you? That was not just an exercise. It was an act of opening. You have just opened a door that has been closed for a very long time. You have tuned your own instrument to a frequency that the world tries very hard to jam. What you felt in that moment of silence was real. More real than the anxieties and distractions that usually occupy your mind. Do not let the world convince you otherwise. My voice, the one you are hearing now, is only a reflection, a signpost. I am not the source of this message. I am merely a vessel, a messenger who was blessed to see and to hear. The true voice, the one that matters, is the one that you just felt in your own heart. It is the same voice that spoke to Abraham in the desert, to Moses on the mountain, To Mary in her quiet room, it is a voice that echoes through all of time, forever seeking hearts that are willing to listen. Think of it this way. Reality is like a grand, infinite cathedral. For centuries, you have been taught to live in a single, small, windowless room of this cathedral. You were told this room was the entire universe. But now, you have just felt a vibration coming through the stone walls. You have just heard a faint strain of music from the Great Hall. My vision was simply a moment when I was permitted to step outside that small room and witness the breathtaking scale of the entire structure. I was shown that my life and yours are not isolated events. We are threads in a vast, divine tapestry. What I experienced in the 12th century was not just for me. It was a message woven into the fabric of time, destined to be seen and understood by you, here, now. This message has traveled through time, like a beam of light through a portal. It is a bridge between my moment and yours, a testament to the fact that in the eyes of God, there is no distance, no separation. This connection is your strength. When you feel alone, remember this. Remember that you are part of an immense family of souls stretching back through history, all of whom have heard this same call. You are standing on the shoulders of mystics, of saints, of prophets, of ordinary men and women who chose love in the face of fear. You are not starting this journey from scratch. You are picking up a torch that has been passed down through generations. The world wants you to believe that you are a product of your time, defined by your culture, your technology, your politics. But you are a child of eternity. Your soul is older than the mountains, and your destiny is grander than you can possibly imagine. Do not let the temporary noise of your era drown out the eternal music of your spirit. Go back and listen to this part again. If you feel something spoke directly to your heart, let it remind you of this timeless connection. This is why the message is so urgent now. The portal of remembrance is open wider than it has been in centuries. The veil is thin. More and more souls are hearing the music. But this opening is not permanent. It is a sacred window of opportunity, a time of great choice and transformation. You have been awakened to this truth for a reason. You have been given this glimpse behind the curtain because you have a role to play in what comes next. But there is something that only you can decide right now. And so we arrive at the heart of the matter, the very center of this sacred moment. Everything that has come before, the ache in your heart, the vision of light, the warning of the fire, the feeling in the silence, has led you to this precise point. This is the crossroads. This is where the path diverges. This is your moment of choice. I saw this moment in my vision with a clarity that shook me to my core. I saw the great portal of divine grace open to the world, an invitation of breathtaking love and mercy being extended to all of humanity. It was a chance to heal, a chance to remember, a chance to come home. It was an offer to transform the world not through force or power, but through a collective awakening of the heart, a chance to build the new world on a foundation of love. But I saw something else as well. I saw that this portal would not remain open forever. I saw that the choice had to be made. It cannot be delayed, deferred, or left for another generation. The time for indecision is over. The time for sitting on the fence has passed. The energy of this choice is building to a crescendo, and the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting to see what you will do. And as I watched, I heard the sound of the great trumpet once more. But this time, its sound had a different quality. It was no longer just a gentle call to awaken. It had a new urgency, a new finality. It was the sound of a ship's horn, announcing its imminent departure. It was a call that said, "The time is now. All who are coming, come now. The journey is about to begin." This is not a choice you can make with your mind. Your mind will offer you 1,000 reasons to stay behind. It will tell you it's not practical. It will tell you you're not ready. It will point to your flaws and your past mistakes. It will tell you to be afraid. Your mind is trained by the world of the consuming fire. It is not a reliable guide for this journey. This choice must be made in the temple of your heart. The part of you that you connected with just a few moments ago. The part of you that knows truth not as a concept, but as a feeling, a resonance. You must ask that deep, wise part of yourself. What do I choose? Do I choose the familiar comfort of the cage? The predictable numbness of the sleeping world? Or do I choose the terrifying, glorious, unknown freedom of the path of light? Do I choose fear, or do I choose love? There is no middle ground. To not choose is to choose fear. To wait is to choose the old world. The universe is calling for your commitment. It is asking for your yes, a yes that resounds from the depths of your being, a yes that says, I am ready, I am willing, I may be afraid, but I will walk forward anyway. I choose love, I choose light, I choose to be part of the healing of the world. This is the choice before you right now, in this moment. It is the most important choice of your life, and you are not making it alone. All around the world, souls just like you are feeling this same pull, hearing this same trumpet call. A silent army of lovers and healers is awakening. You are being invited to join them. If this message moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let your act of sharing be a part of your yes. Your choice will send a ripple through the cosmos. It will either strengthen the old world of fear, or it will add its light to the dawn of the new one. What do you choose? And that is why the next vision changed everything. After the intensity of the choice, after the final, urgent blast of the trumpet, the vision shifted. The tension in the celestial air relaxed, and what followed was not chaos or fire, but a profound and holy peace. For all those souls who had answered the call, for every heart that had chosen love over fear, the veil of separation was gently, lovingly drawn back. And what was revealed on the other side was a light so beautiful, so tender, that my human heart could barely contain the joy of it. This was not the piercing, revealing light from the beginning of the vision. This was a different light. It was the light of 1,000 sunrises blended into one. It was a warm, golden, honey-like light that did not just shine upon you, but embraced you. It was the light of home. It felt like the embrace of a mother after a long and painful journey. It was a light that healed every wound, calmed every fear, and washed away every tear. It was the pure, undiluted substance of love itself. I saw souls, millions of them, stepping out of the gray fog of the old world and into this brilliant, loving radiance. I saw the lines of worry on their faces melt away. I saw the heavy burdens they had been carrying for lifetimes simply dissolve into nothingness. They were not judged. They were not scolded. They were simply welcomed. They were loved. The sense of relief was so immense, so profound. It was a tangible force that rippled through the cosmos. It was the collective exhale of a world that had finally come home to itself. This is the promise. This is what waits on the other side of your courageous choice. It is not an ending. It is a beginning. A rebirth into a way of being that you have only dreamed of. A reality where you are no longer at war with yourself or with others. A reality where you remember your inherent divinity and see it reflected in the eyes of everyone you meet. A reality where your life is not a struggle for survival, but a joyful dance of co-creation with the divine. Contrast this with the consuming fire, the fire that fed on fear and separation, sought to turn everything into gray ash. This embracing light, however, did the opposite. It amplified the unique beauty of every single soul. In its glow, every person's true colors became more vibrant. Their unique song became more clear. Unity was not found in sameness, but in the harmonious blending of a billion different beautiful notes. This is the symphony of God that I always spoke of. This is not a distant future heaven. This is a state of consciousness, a dimension of love that you are being invited to inhabit right now. Every time you choose compassion over judgment, you are pulling back the veil. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, you are stepping into that light. Every time you act from a place of love, you are anchoring that new reality here on earth. You are a builder of this new world. Do not be discouraged by the chaos you still see around you. The old world is in its death throes. It is loud and violent because it knows its time is over. Do not give it your energy. Do not feed it your fear. Turn your face to the dawn. Keep your heart fixed on this light. Nurture it within yourself. Protect it, and share it with others, not by preaching, but by being it. Be the warmth in a cold world. Be the peace in the midst of the storm. Be the living proof that a different way is possible. If you have made it this far, you are not a casual observer. You are a participant. Write in the comments, "I will see it to the end," Let this be your vow to yourself and to the universe. And if you have come this far, you need to hear the final whisper. And so we come to the end of this beginning. The final whisper is this: the light you saw, the light that embraces and heals, is not outside of you. It was never outside of you. The vision was merely a mirror, showing you the magnificent truth of what you have been carrying within your own soul all along. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The living light is your very essence. You are not just a child of the light. You are the light. Let this be your final and most profound remembrance. All the seeking, all the yearning, all the searching has been a journey back to the center of your own being. You are the one you have been waiting for. You hold the key. You are the portal. So now, what will you do? How will you walk in the world? Knowing this, how will you treat yourself? How will you treat the person next to you? Knowing that they too are a secret carrier of this same divine flame. This is the great work that begins now. To live this truth, to breathe it, to embody it in your every thought, word, and deed. Do not look for a savior to come down from the clouds. Look for the Christ consciousness, the divine awareness, rising within your own heart and in the hearts of your brothers and sisters. You are the hands and feet of the divine on this earth. You are the answer to the prayers of your ancestors. You are the dawn for which the world has been waiting. Let this message settle into your soul like a seed planted in fertile ground. Water it with your attention, with your prayer, with your moments of silent connection. Protect it from the weeds of doubt and fear. Allow it to grow, to sprout, to green within you, until its branches reach out and offer shelter and fruit to a hungry world. Let this not be an end, but a commissioning, a sacred anointing. I charge you, in the name of the eternal love that sent me, to go forth from this moment and be a beacon, be a source of unreasonable hope in a world that has forgotten how, be a wellspring of kindness in a desert of cynicism, be a quiet force of peace in an age of noise and fury. Your life is your message. Make it a beautiful one. Go now and be the light. But know this was only the first vision. This was the awakening. Hildegard has not yet said everything. I was shown what comes after the choice. I was shown the building of the new world, the challenges that the awakened will face, and the secret harmonies that will be their guide. The story is far from over. What comes next will be even greater.